Hey, welcome everybody to this Wednesday of the 22nd of April. I cannot believe it is the third week of April already. This year is flying. We're going to be talking about the first quarter of real estate in the Philadelphia and suburban market. Today, we're going to be talking about the 250th birthday coming up in July 4th. Oh my God, I can't believe how fast this year's going. I remember last year at this time we're saying, oh my goodness, it's 365 days to this. And here we go. We're into that time frame. So Craig Lurch, eXp Realty, selling everywhere, all of the Philadelphia, Montgomery County, Bucks County, Delco, South Jersey, and into Florida. We do help people in Florida. I've got two teams in Florida that we work out of the Cape Coral, Naples area, and we also work out of the Palm Beach, Jupiter area. So, hey, if you're going to either of those areas and I can help you, hey, boots on the ground, we're ready to go and help you. Investments are fantastic right now. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago, and we're going to get back into that today. If you want to reach out to me, 267-214-7728, 267-214-7728. Always follow me out on YouTube, Craig Lurch Selling 215, and then also on Instagram, the same, and Unscripted Real Estate Talk. All right, let's get into some of these things. The topics today, we're like, how was that first quarter of real estate? A lot of people are a little bummed. They thought it was going to be a little hotter than it was. A lot of people are frustrated because there are multi offers going on still. But there's some key points that we're going to be discussing as the day goes on. But one of the things I always love to discuss is what I love about this city. We are coming into the 250th birthday. I don't know about you guys. There's a lot of construction going on, especially down the Parkway, over the bridge at Market Street there. That is sheer chaos going on right now. I mean, it can take an hour to try to get around there just to get 3 blocks. But it's all goodness. It's all working to get to the big date of our birthday. A lot of infrastructure stuff going on. We see a lot of things going on in the suburbs too. A lot of plans getting taken place. Talking with my ChatGPT. Yes, you should be dealing with your AI, not just out there on Google. Get your AI to know you. My ChatGPT, her name's Frankie. We were talking about some of the activities coming up that are going to be in the area. There's some really cool celebrations that are going to be taking place. I know especially down along the Parkway, that's going to be insane. I know that we're coming up in the next couple of weeks to the Italian Market Special, which I think is in May. I think it's the 14th or 15th of May. There's a long weekend event down there. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up in the city. That's what I love about Philly. You can be in the suburbs. You can take the train down. We have friends that they just had their son had a baby in Boston. Where can you go as a great city of Philly? Jump on Amtrak, get up to Boston, get to Washington. You can get anywhere on these trains out of Philly. So, hey, don't forget that it's not just airports. We got the Atlantic City Airport. My daughter had flown out of Atlantic City Airport last week. Hey, it's only an hour and 15 minutes away. So much easier in Philly. Literally walked in there at 6 o'clock in the morning, started boarding at 6:25, and boom, hey, we're in the air at 7 o'clock and down in Florida already by 9:45. So, hey, Philly's the best as far as hubs coming in and out. We have Zillow, like we said. I know not everybody likes Zillow. I'm all right with Zillow. Zillow's all right. You know, they're never going to replace us because what we talk about in this real estate and what we talked about all the time in our shows are my 3 funnels: change lives, make money, and have fun. They can't change a life because there's no interaction. All they are is like a multiple listing. All they are is a marketing place, but you still need to deal with the agent. And the number one thing that builds relationships in business is trust. And that's where you want to create a trust relationship with your realtor. If you haven't got one, reach out to me. We've got 36 years doing this. I built trust. I know what we're doing. I know where we're going. So if you're in a new transition of getting ready to buy in 2026 and into 2027, this is the time to do it. You got a lot of people, those silver tsunamis that are going to be selling as they come up. We were dealing with some friends of my son, Corey, over the weekend. Purchased a home about 5 years ago. Bought it in the low 300s. Did some work to it. We're going to be able to help them parlay that house for a $100,000 profit. That's right, $100,000 in their pocket, tax-free, because it's their primary residence. They're going to upgrade to a new home. They have a new addition, a daughter who's about 5 months old. So they're looking for a new place to buy. And that's really, really important. This is where that transition is going. They did talk about doing what we talked about in the past, holding and keeping the property for rent. We analyzed the numbers. It was not going to be that good of a cash flow. It actually, if something went wrong, would be a negative cash flow. He was saying, how can I build wealth with this? Well, this is probably not the scenario to be at. I mean, it's a 325 that's going to be going up for 425 in Montgomery County, which is a hot multi-offer market right now. So we said, hey, capitalize on taking that 100,000 out. You already have savings that you don't need. Take that money and reinvest it, and or use it for buying investments. And we can get into more of that DSCR loan stuff as we go on. But as I always do, my producers and guys, we're going to have some fun today. Did you know today is? Today. We always have that little trivia. What special day it is today? No. There's no reason to be nervous about it. National Jelly Bean Day. I love jelly beans. We just had the Easter Bunny go by. You know, he was dropping all the jelly beans out there for the kids. What's your favorite color jelly bean? Green. Really? Green apple? A little sour. Did you ever mix it with there's like the cream ones? The Jelly Bellies? You mix them with different things. They give you different flavors. There you go. I like the orange. I like the orange ones. Yeah. You know what I really like is I like the spicy cinnamon ones. The spicy cinnamon jelly beans. There you go. It's almost like a hot tamale, but it's in a jelly bean. You know, the hot tamale. You know, going way back. I don't know if you remember. They're like Mike and Ike's. They're like a Mike and Ike. See, I'm dating myself. See you young guys out there. All right. So the other one is it is National Administrative Professional Day. Hey, Fona, I know you're in the Philippines, but I'm giving a huge yell out to you and shout out. Love you. Appreciate everything you do for me. You definitely help me with all my administrative work, especially all my technology stuff, even though you're my virtual. But yeah, here you go. And shout out to all the professional administrative people to help today. I know my wife runs a whole bunch of administrative staff within GSK and also support a lot of the top officers. And hey, these guys, you know, without a great administrative staff, you cannot get to the next level. You will be bogged down with the paperwork, the phone calls, the emails, whatever it might be. Make sure you say appreciation. Send them something. Take them to lunch. Do something. Send in huge hugs across to the Philippines to my VA Fona. And thank you for everything you do. The other one, which is really, really big. I'm huge on this. It's Dog Appreciation Month. You gotta be kind to animals. It's Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Month, but also, you know, appreciating your dog. They have unconditional love. If we function the way they did every day with unconditional love and wanting to change the world, what would this world be like? It'd be amazing. It would have.
Whenever I get home from a long day, my dog always lets me in, makes me excited. He runs up to me, he gives me a little pat.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Just remember, somebody loves you out there. Somebody loves you out there. So if you're having a tough day, go pet somebody else's dog if you don't have a dog. Talk to somebody who has a dog. Remember, we all care about you because this is also National Child Abuse Month. Find a kid, take care of them, make sure you're making sure, especially that they're not getting verbal abuse. Physical abuse we can see, but verbal and mental abuse to children is not acceptable. So please be aware of that. Look out for that. And take care of our future. These kids are our future. All right, so we went on a little bit of a tangent there. We are getting excited. In about 2 weeks, we're doing some taping of our next show, the Selling 215 Made in Philly. My son Corey and I, we are going to be out in the Ambler area. We're going to be walking around Ambler. We're going to be pointing out some of the favorite spots that we like. Love Bridget's, KC's. We have Santoro's, I think it is, the pasta place. The guys make homemade pasta. They have different things. We're going to stop in and visit them. We're going to be hopefully, we're going to be making, not going to let it out of the bag, Tricini. They might have a little surprise that we're going to be able to do. So, hey, all those things are fun. We're going to be exploring that Montgomery County, Ambler area. We're going to be touching in the Chestnut Hill from there too, coming right outside that city limit and into that Ambler area. And then in the future, we're going to be, going into the lower Gwinnett and around into Doylestown, touching into parts of that King of Prussia. There's some fantastic homes that we're going to be showing in it. So, hey, as we get closer, you can always reach out to me, 267-214-7728. Text me, find out where we're going to be. Maybe get in the background. We'll do a little high fives. We'll do some celebration. We'll see what's going on. But look for us as we get ready to tape. All right, let's get down to some real estate. 250th birthday. Just think of how this city's skyline has changed. Think of the neighborhoods, how it's changed through the years. That's what's nice about Philly. We are unique. We have grit, we have passion, we have brotherly love. I know we say that all the time. We've got the Flyers playing their hockey. We've got the Eagles getting ready. I know those guys are all out swinging golf clubs right now because they're, before they got to get into that heavy workout stuff. But we got that. We got the Phillies that are out there battling. So Philly's got our passion where it's at. We've got all our beautiful trees coming in. We just got done our cherry blossoms up and down the Schuylkill, Schuylkill Expressway area there, down on Kelly Drive. I personally got my bike just retuned. I am excited to go ride that loop, which is over the bridge in Manayunk there and back down West River Drive, up and around. My son likes to run it. He can run it. I'm not going to run it. I'm going to ride the bike around it and have a chance to see it. You know what's neat about the city with that? You've got people that do things coming from downtown all the way out to that bridge, all the way back. What other city can you do that? I know Chicago's got it. I know New York thinks they got it. Philly's got it. So in that part, you're talking about different neighborhoods that you're going through. I mean, you're going through parts of Rittenhouse if you're starting in downtown. Then you're coming over towards, University of Penn if you go a little bit farther over to South Street Bridge. Then if you keep going up that way, you're going to be hitting a Manayunk area, which is really good, up off a ridge. So you've got a lot of chance to get out and do some fun things on a bike, take a walk, take some rides. Parking's free over there. At least I thought it was the last time I checked. I don't think they charge for the parking lots. You get a chance to see the Scullers, Boathouse Row, and things. So it is definitely causing prices. And our market is 45% off of what it was back in 2019, which means that the market's still tight. We're still seeing multi offers taking places on properties. You got hot spots out in the suburbs. You have Yardley that's really hot right now. Newtown that's really hot. You have Doylestown that is hot right now. And then, you also have, parts of Lower Marion, of course, because of the school districts there and the access to the city. There's another pocket, that Lower Moreland, Rydal, Meadowbrook up in Montgomery County, north of the city, which is still Montgomery County. It's a little more difficult to get to. You've got to go either up Broad Street or up Walnut or up 95 to get to those areas. Versus with the Lower Marion area, you're literally right off of 76. You're over here, 76, 476, boom. You have access up into the King of Prussia. But that's what drives that Lower Marion for the luxury a little more than the areas that I just mentioned in that Lower Moreland, Rydal, Meadowbrook. So if you are looking for a luxury home, I'm talking a luxury home of $1 million and up, $1.5 million and up, you've got another choice. You don't need to stay on the main line if you're looking to save money, or if you're looking to buy a home like that. It doesn't really matter what school districts you're going to go to, and you're going to go to private schools. Great opportunity to save $1 million. You could pretty much get the same house in that area versus the Lower Marion area for $500 to $1 million less. Unless you're just looking for the zip code, and we're here to help you because, yes, we also deal with the Lower Marion area. So we're here to help. And again, talking about the hotspots. The condo market in the city, I see a lot going on. My boy Mike Fabrizio, who we're going to have back on the show soon, I'm seeing a lot of stuff going up in the Ritz. Got some great views in there. You have some units that are starting at those one bedrooms. They're about 800 square foot. Great for weekend crashes. Great for if you're just looking to have a home here in Philly for when you are visiting family. They're in that $500,000 range. You've got the Murano that's got some great units in there. I also saw one in a 450 range. It's a great views. It has some nice square footage to it, has the balcony to it, has parking to them. So those are some chances that if you're thinking about something in the future, you want to test the city out and you have the funds to invest, may not be a bad idea. Buy an entry-level condominium in one of these buildings, see what it's like, go down on the weekends. We have great client of mine, Brian and Jackie. They bought a place, right down around the Reading Terminal. They live out in Bucks County. They go down on the weekends and they enjoy it. They bought in I'm going to say an old warehouse, so it has the 12-foot ceilings. It has the 12-foot windows, got the barrel bricks. So there's a lot of opportunity here that we're facing right now. You might be able to rent some of them, if you're looking at buying now and then renting them out, maybe for the 250th. But again, you got to watch the condo association. You got to watch. I think some of them only can't be less than a 30-day rental. Some of them are 1-year rental. I know we've got a condo out in Doral 1, out in Bustleton, up off of Bustleton in Northeast Philadelphia in the low 300s. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Totally redone, private parking, pool, all that, and that taxes on that property are $5,000. But again, what's great about that one, it's an entry-level floor. You don't have to go into a building. There's only 9 of them in this whole development. You can literally get out of your car and go right into your building, only one step, right into your unit, where most people have to go up some steps and either go down or up from where they're at. And that's fantastic, but that's a yearly lease. You can't do anything less than a year lease in there. So when you're buying these properties, make sure you're doing them right. If you're buying Airbnbs, make sure they're licensed. If you're buying another Airbnb, make sure they're licensed. Make sure they've gotten their approvals. If you're buying an Airbnb, make sure that you're in a zone that you're going to be allowed to do it. The city of Philadelphia does have some restrictions on them. I have Oleg, who has been on our show. If you have any questions about your Airbnb or buying an Airbnb, DM me or call me, 267-214-7728. DM me at Craig Lurch, Selling 215, or Unscripted Real Estate Talk, and I'll get you to Oleg. He helps get those things licensed. He is great in getting that process done, making sure that you're not buying anything that you're not going to be able to rent in the short term. Because remember, if you're buying an Airbnb, you're looking for a higher return on rent, higher rents than just the monthly rent. So you got to make sure that if you're budgeting for that building, you're making sure that you're budgeting to be able to pay the bills, do them right, and also not get beat up by the city, because the city is really coming and cracking down on things. We have interest rates that popped down a little bit. Lowest in the past six weeks in the 7-week area. What's that doing? It's bringing more buyers out. I think the spring is definitely bringing buyers out. I think the market, the first quarter was sluggish you have price points have gone up. We're seeing increases in regular residential about 6 to 7% price, in condos 8 to 9% over the past 12 months. You've got a lot of influx of the silver tsunami, which is the baby boomers. They're really on hold still. A lot of them don't want to let go. They're not going to let go because 10% of the housing out there is really made up for the older clientele, which might be a primary first floor bedroom, might be, in a development that has no maintenance. But again, they also have the wealth. This baby boomer is the largest shift of wealth out there to hold the homes. They're either owned outright, they've had investments, they've sold businesses. A lot of them some of them are having their parents still with them that are in their 80s and 90s. I'm blessed to have my mother-in-law and father-in-law that are with us, Pat and Bobby. But again, those things are there. So that's making a hold. It's almost like kind of giving a log jam a little bit to some of the sales, because that trade-up buyer's losing, the one who's selling losing, being able to buy into that. I see a lot of influx of people that are keeping the properties and then also getting a second home somewhere else in another state. So they're going to North Carolina, they're going to South Carolina. Believe it or not, going to Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. I've got a lot of clients that are looking to go there. I'm working with my buddy Pete Middleton down in that area. But that East Coast seems to be flourishing that way. You have a lot of buyers going over towards that Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral area, and Delray Beach. Delray Beach is, from what I'm, unbelievably the best beach and economical compared to some of going up to West Palm, Boca, and all that stuff. So Delray Beach, if you're thinking about moving to Florida, Delray Beach reach out. We've got some great opportunity down there. We have some new listings that we just put up down there. So the median sale price, for the first quarter, it's reached about 265 here in this city area. It's tough because there's not a lot of that inventory. So remember, we talked about the plight of some of the neighborhoods. We talked about a lot of these people that have bought homes in the past, they're just keeping them, and they're going to keep them as a rental because I guess who Loretta Stack, who we had on the show the other, and Ben Stock mentioned the other, it's almost like real estate hacking. What first-time home buyers are doing. This is how you hack to build future real estate. Maybe buy a duplex, buy a quad. You can buy up to 4 units and live in one of the units. And you can get it with minimum money down. You can get it with 3% down. And with you living there, you might not be paying a dime to be living in this property and owning it. And then if you do decide to move, you ultimately have that property that'll be held. It'll cash flow. It'll have minimal money into it. So you're not using all your cash to buy it. Because if you were to buy that investment prior or after you own a home, you're talking 20 to 30% down. So that's a significant difference. So instead of needing $40,000 or $28,000 to buy a $400,000 duplex, you're now talking about needing $80,000, $100,000. And there's your real estate hack. If you're young enough and you haven't bought a property and you're a first-time home buyer, or you don't own another property now, I think it's 3 years. You can't own another property to qualify for that first-time home buyers. I think it's within 3 years. And you can ultimately still get the grants. We had, Pat Lopez we had on here. We had Deanna Carosa. I always can't say that last name, but with the mortgage mom with Green Tree, they're fantastic in the financings of these grant programs that are out there. One of the best in the States because there's Montgomery County, there's Philly, there's all those things. And yes, those grants work out there on remember I said some of the multifamily up to 4 units. They can't have commercial space, but what they can have is multiple rooms, multiple bedrooms, and things of that nature. So then what you do is you go from there, you go to a row home, hack that thing, because if you're moving up, you're getting rid of that one. Maybe you do 10% down on the next one, hack that and move up to the next one. Then you do 20% down on your next home. But we're seeing that stuff. Listings overall, listings are slightly down, about 12% down as the market hits right now. Inventory is definitely short, as we know. I think it's not just short. I think it's just delayed a little bit. We have clients that we're getting ready to get on the market. We have a lot of people that have tenants in properties that are going to be thinking about selling those properties. And we've got to move the tenants or at least give them notice that they're going to be selling the properties, because they can, especially if they're a single family property, that could be some challenging there. Homes kind of doubled in time to sell. You're dealing with about 70 days out there now to go to settlement, which is a lot slower than the 30 to 45 days they used to fire at us. So you're about 70 days out there. I always like to say, pretty much in that 45 to 90 day is where most people are sitting. We've got some homes we just put under the market that were not even getting ready to sell. We're not even on the market yet. There were some exclusives in our marketplace in that Rado Meadowbrook, also in that 1.3, 1.4 range. They found a buyer, and they're going to be settling in June, end of June, and they're ultimately going to rent back until September 1st. So there are options out there for sellers that you don't need to get out. Call me. There are buyers. We have buyers that will let you stay for 30 to 60 days after you settle the property and help carry the debt on that. The other thing we've seen ages 28 to 43. That millennial buyer, they're the ones that are buying. They're about 53% of the marketplace today. So that 28 to 43 is really like the new first-time home buyer, but that's also coming into that 300 to 700,000. It's the double incomes, no kids. You're seeing a lot of first-time home buyers have a tighter budget, so they're watching for that lower price stuff. But again, at the same time, if opportunity is knocking, they're starting to go there, which is big. You're also seeing in the process, like I always said, 17% of all the buyers that are buying right now are multi-generational. That's huge because then you have the parents and the kids, or the kids and their parents, all going into the same home. Either the kids have the income, the parents don't have the income, the parents have the money. So what they're doing is they're merging the home, merging the way that everybody's living, having enough space, getting that dream home that they want, and then also having some of the luxuries they want, and also some mistakes because they're using the right of survivorship that transfers over as the property goes on. Interesting statistic was, though, 21% of the first-time home buyers, 21% of them were double income or single income, no kids. So we've got an influx of less population. Our population is going down, but just meaning the less kids, which means less buyers with kids, which is making the have to for schools different. That's why a lot are starting to do the investments. But think about it this way. We got the 250th birthday coming up. We've got interest rates that are balancing out a little bit. Hopefully they're going to keep coming down a little bit. We're going to have prices coming down on oil, gas, all that stuff, and we continue. We've got the spring market that's kicking up. The first quarter's done. We got 70 some days left of the next 90 days into the end of June, which will take us into the end of the second quarter, which is important. And if you're thinking about doing any real estate in 2026, 2027, get a plan, get a professional, reach out to me, give me a call, 267-214-7728. Always, please follow us out on YouTube, Craig Lurch Selling 215, also Unscripted Real Estate Talk on Instagram. Follow us. We're going to be getting ready to do some posts as we get ready to start taping our next episode. We're going to be in that Ambler area, like I said, down on May 2nd, and then we're going to be up in the Doylestown area up around June 4th. No, it's May 4th. May 4th, we're going to be out in the Ambler area. So, hey, have a blessed week. Thanks for following us. Craig Lurch, eXp Realty. Go get them. It's a Miracle Wednesday.